This morning, the new thing in old music. Classical conductor Yannick Nézet-Séguin was born in Canada, but now acts as musical director on both sides of the border, Montreal, Philadelphia, and at the Met here in New York. His career has been like a rocket ship. The energy he brings to each performance, remarkable. Nézet-Séguin has designs on making more than great music, though. He wants to open the often stuffy world of classical to a whole new audience. So far, it looks pretty good.
It's borderline drunk music, right? And especially in the last movement.
It's almost more fun watching you rehearse than actually in concert.
Yeah. This is the kitchen, you know? The concert is the dining room.
He is classical music's hottest commodity. Yannick Nézet-Séguin grew up in Montreal, displaying uncommon talents for art and showmanship at a young age. After Pope John Paul II visited his hometown in 1984, Nézet-Séguin began delivering Mass every day in his basement. How do you go from wanting to be Pope to wanting to be a conductor?
Isn't it the same?
Papal dreams may not have lasted, but an obsession with music did. He became director of Montreal's orchestra at the tender age of 25. 9 years ago, he began leading the orchestra in Philadelphia. 2 years ago, he also took over as music director at the Met in New York City.
Yes, I don't have only one partner. Yes, I have three. But it's, I feel that I'm rotating in between the three families, and I can bring something different to each of them.
Recently, a full-length documentary was released on his life, Yannick, An Artist's Journey, further elevating his already soaring reputation. Does becoming a celebrity in this world make it more difficult for you to do your job and to focus on the work?
I mean, celebrity, it's relative, I guess.
There's a movie made on you.
No, it's true that it doesn't make my life more difficult, though. Not at all.
We met Nézet-Séguin in Philadelphia, where things are changing fast. For one, the traditional white tie and tails are gone, in favor of a more modern style. The dress code here has changed significantly. That's important to you.
For me, what's important is that we get to the 21st century. Even if we play some music from the 18th and 19th and 20th, it has to resonate with the people who come today.
How do you think classical music can bring in a younger generation?
They need to be exposed to it when they're young.
Music is a language. Then, as a conductor, you communicate with your gestures, with your eyes.
I feel like music was a bigger part of my school growing up than it is in a lot of kids' schools today. How much of a problem do you think that is?
It's a huge problem. There's so many studies that over and over again prove that it's so good for kids to have music as their background, being able to express, even if they don't become professional.
Watching Nézet-Séguin conduct can be mesmerizing. An explosive combination of facial expressions and body movements that constantly push his performers. I like that you use your hands as expressively during the interview as you do up on stage.
Yeah.
It's the way you communicate.
Yeah, I can't help it. That's true. I think I've always been this way, but yet I've always been a conductor in a way. So, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Now I realize.
But you're not thinking about it.
I mean, I love this question because that's something that's very important for me, for people to realize that to be a good conductor, the most important thing is not to think about the gesture. The second you start thinking about it, it's over. It's something not natural.
At just 46 years old, Nézet-Séguin has already built a life of loyalty. He's been with his partner, a violist, in the Montreal Orchestra for a quarter century. Many feared he would leave Montreal for good. As his star brightened, he agreed to become music director there for life.
I think there was this worry, and every year they would say, oh, one day Yannick is going to leave, one day Yannick's going to leave. And I kind of got tired of this and said, well, guys, I won't leave. And they said, why don't we just stop this thing about, oh, when are you going to leave, when are we going to renew, and say, let's just get married. And so that's what happened, which is very unusual for an orchestra and conductor relationship.
How do you think you've changed in the last 20 years?
I hope I didn't change too much. I still feel like a kid.
What is it you haven't accomplished that you still want to?
I want this music to touch even more people and to make a difference in how also it can bridge different cultures. People who think they have nothing in common, you put them on stage together or you put them in the same concert hall, and all of a sudden, because there are no words, they feel connected in a way that nothing else can achieve. And I feel that is really my goal. I want that in 40 years, when we talk again, I can say, well, this and that happened. And look, now we're not talking anymore like, oh, classical music, that elite thing, you know. No, this is music that lives and breathes everywhere.
Let me just put that in my calendar. So that would be 2061.
Yeah, why not?
We'll book it.
Okay, we'll book it. It's a rendezvous.
Wow.
It's a rendezvous.
How old will you be then?
The first interview I booked in 2086. The first interview I booked in 2061. So that'll be a nice return. You can come and I'll watch that at the time. But he is just a dynamo.
Yeah.
And giving everything he can to 3 different orchestras.
You can tell.
All at the same time.
I'll be watching, I hope.